the Research Centre for Ageing at DKIT. So I'm here to talk to you basically about some of the insights that I've gained from the time that I've spent researching projects that are aimed at older people, and I hope you find it interesting. So I suppose in relation to the silver market, I'm going to talk to you about the opportunity for businesses and how to access it. So I'm going to talk to you about three key things: the size of the prize, that's the size of the market. We've already spoken about that today in some of the big kind of headline figures. And then we're going to try and delve in underneath that to see some of the opportunities as they relate to your business, and then to look at the key insights in the market. So the size of the prize, as Geraldine outlined before, the number of over 65s in Ireland is just over 637,000. That's according to the 2016 census figures. It's grown by 19.1% from the previous census, and that is a growth rate of 5% year on year, which will continue. That's 20,000 people, and the bigger group that's growing is the over 85s. Just a little bit of information about them: 95% live in private homes and 27% of them live alone. They also represent one of the most affluent market segments. Again, I know Geraldine touched on this, but they are worth 10 billion euros a year. This is in part due to final salary, pensions, savings, and they're probably one of the best recipients of the fluctuations in the housing market. So they're a growing market, they're a large market, and they're an affluent market. So therefore, it's a no-brainer really to say that they should be within everybody's sights. The opportunity for me, the one that I want to try and convey today, is that businesses at the moment aren't effective in speaking to this segment. The default is to market to the stereotype, and that's to look at the older and not the person. This market segment, as Peter has mentioned and Geraldine has touched on also, is a very diverse segment. And this kind of, I suppose, lazy profiling isn't working. 89% of respondents in a recent survey carried out by Campaign, which is the largest marketing magazine in the UK, said that brands are not interested in them. So that's quite a big statement. If you feel that brands are not interested in you, you're less likely to engage with them. They felt that they used stereotypes, that they did not see themselves in advertising, and if they did see themselves in advertising, they saw themselves as a stereotype. So if you want to think about, for example, car ads, 60% of cars are bought by the over 50 market, and yet, if you look at any car ad, it's millennials, driving the cars. So it's not working. People are not engaging with those brands because they don't see themselves as being represented by them. The market is diverse, and some of the key drivers that we have as consumers carry through out our age profile. So the kind of key attitudes and behaviours that we have as younger consumers we carry through as we become older. I mean, it's just a fact of life. So in addition to not feeling that you're being spoken to, the biggest problem is, in a recent Pew survey, 65% of 80-year-olds do not consider themselves to be old. So if your marketing strategy is all about looking at people who are older and targeting them as older, but your market do not see themselves as older and do not feel they're being spoken to properly, you're not going to succeed. So I found this video when I was doing some research, and I thought it exemplified the point really well. I might go back to that. Yeah. Yes. Just go.
Why would you think about your age? I mean, one says, what do you think about their age? I mean, I certainly don't.
I think the best thing about getting older is being able to do what I want when I want. I love the attention.
I am very active and I intend to be active until can't anymore. For me, age is just an idea, I think.
When you get older, you don't actually care.
I don't do age. People see you doing your thing and they say, well, you're too old for that, aren't you? You want to slap them. Music doesn't have age written on it.
They see you play basketball, they're thinking, if I can do that, what else can I do? And it is a fact.
I never stop colouring my hair, having breathe, and I don't think you better have a tattoo.
I find life much more fun because I'm not going to be slowing down anytime soon.
I really like that video because I think it shows the diversity within that segment. And I think what I want to try and convey within that is that when you look at consumer behaviour, you look at what drives people to purchase products. They engage, they feel excited. Often products are positioned as aspirational, things that you can do and achieve by purchasing or buying into a product or a service. And that is really important, and to maintain that throughout all of your marketing campaigns and all of your product positioning, regardless of the age, but not to discount it certainly when you are looking at the older market. So to go delve down slightly further into that, if you look at the opportunity, so at the moment the big opportunity is you are ahead of the game because you're here and because you're thinking about this market, and often people aren't. So that's the first thing. And the second thing then is, when you do look at the opportunity, when you do look at the older market, I think the one thing I do want you to take away from my observations working with older people is that if you can see older people as people who are older, I know we all use PC terms and it can get a little bit crazy, but I really do believe that people who are older probably centres you better because you think of them as people first, not as the stereotypical older person. So some of the insights, I suppose, that I've gotten over the few years that I've been working at CASALA is that the kind of aspirational things that you need to look at are the drivers. Older means that there are some issues that you may encounter as you age, and these are hygiene. You're not to discount them, obviously, because these are a fact of getting older, but they're not the drivers, they're not the motivators. So things that you may need to consider as you get older are there may be reduced vision, maybe reduced hearing, there's dexterity issues, there can be health issues, mobility, flexibility. Reduced confidence is a huge thing, and I know that Geraldine did touch on that before, the idea of importance of independence. Independence is something that you gain as you get older, through your teens, and it's a prize that you hold very dearly throughout your entire life, and it's something to be cognizant of. But then the motivators, the aspirational elements as we age, are still very relevant. You have things like you wanting to stay connected to your community, to the wider community, to your family, to friends. You want to be relevant. You are relevant, so you want to be considered as relevant. You want to do more, participate, be respected, and to look good. And you need to keep those things very much in the front of your mind when you are looking at your marketing campaigns. I suppose just in action, some of those key insights are things like people look at me, there's a very large market in nutritional foods. But I suppose in terms of positioning it, ready-made meals are for the won't cook, not the can't cook. So you can have them for the time-pressed 20-year-old as much as the person who doesn't necessarily want to cook for themselves on their own age 90. Fitness trackers, not safety trackers. The personal emergency service market is a growing market, but 25% of people who have an alarm button refuse to wear it. It's in the drawer because they don't want the association of aging or reduced independence that sometimes comes with that. And that's a psychological thing. A lot of companies are overcoming that when they look and feel of them. They look like jewellery pieces, and that's great. But I think that if you add extra functionality to it, if you look at it as what it can do for you, not to keep you safe necessarily, although that is a byproduct, but it can empower you or give you the confidence to do more, it's a better footing. smart homes, not assisted homes. Look at all the different things that you can do with the smart home in terms of saving energy and that kind of thing, as opposed to just the security element of it. And this is a particular bugbear of mine. I was at in the UK over Easter, and I was meeting friends for dinner in a hotel, and I went into the lobby. There was a lectern with a very kind of oversized fancy menu that was laminated. It looked very nice, I have to say, and I perused it because we were eating there that night. And next to it, on the lectern, was an A4 printed piece of paper with senior citizens menu on it. And I have to say, I don't know anybody who would look at the big fancy menu and go, do you know what, I fancy the mashed up shepherd's pie for a fiver. And I think you can do, I mean, there is a need for smaller portion sizes, and that's what they have tried to address in that, I think, quite clumsy way. And having a starter, all meals are available in starter sizes, would do the job as effectively, but would be a little better received, I imagine. So, I suppose one of the insights then really is to walk in and walk with older people to test your services and to test your marketing and the dignity. I thought that was a good approach, the dignity test, which is to say, you know, one of the biggest things, and Americans do it really, really well, is customer service. And that's not to be patronising, but it's to really delight you as a consumer. And that's basically all you really have to do. The bar is quite low on this, actually. So that's really all you have to do, is to delight. And you do that by walking in the shoes of your customers. So just to extrapolate that out further, these are some of the companies that I've come across that I think are doing it really well. So there's Daimler. So going back to that point about high-end luxury cars are over-indexed. Purchases are the over 50s, but a lot of the cars are designed by younger engineers and technologists. And what Daimler did a couple of years ago is they engaged the services of the Age Lab at MIT, and they designed an age suit with goggles. So our vision decreases from the age of 35, and as you get, say, closer to 70, it becomes quite yellow, and it can distort how colours seem and the profile of colours. So they, the age suit as well, just reduced mobility a little bit in line with some of the kind of the mobility issues that people may have. And what they did was they tweaked their car. They didn't design a car for older people. They didn't jump into that category. But what they said was, if we raise the seat up a little bit, like less buckety, and make the door a little bit less heavy, and change the screen on the computer in the car to reflect the colour differences, that car will be automatically nicer to sit in and to drive by the older driver. So I thought that was quite a good product development innovation. L'Oreal in their marketing have, I think, stealing the march on this. The way they demonstrate some of the products for older people is brilliant. Like, who doesn't want to look at Helen Mirren? And it's, you know, it's a real insight that they have then taken through their advertising. And, you know, they're advertising across all of the ages, but they do it in a kind of an empowering way, in an aspirational way, in an exciting and motivating way. There's a company in the States called Get Stitched, and again, that's a product diversification that I thought was very interesting. They started off as a dating site, and what they discovered was that a lot of older people, particularly older women, didn't actually want to date. They may be widowed, or they may be separated or divorced or whatever. They wanted companionship, and it's actually diversified into a companionship site now, where they organise group get-togethers like jazz club or book club or things like that. It's an opportunity for people just to get together with other groups. And then one of the key, I suppose, poster companies for how to do it right when targeting older adults is CVS in the States. That's at the corner of happy and healthy, or whatever they call it. But they have really embraced, they've walked with their customer, and they have really embraced the over 50s market. And the kind of things that they discovered by taking focus groups and panels with them through their stores is that back to the idea of some of the psychological impact people have of ageing. They feel perhaps that they're invisible, that they're not being spoken to, that they can be an obstacle, that all these kind of negative connotations that they're trying to overcome in the way that they have laid out their stores. So what they've done is, when you walk in initially, they have a purpose-built trolley, and it's a lightweight trolley, but what they've recognised is people want something to lean on, and they don't want it to tip if it's empty. So it's really just something to support them, and it's done in a very subtle way, so that's a plus. They've looked at widening their aisles. They've also looked then at not having big long aisles, so that if you've just stopped to look for something, that you're not an obstacle, you're not blocking somebody else's way, and you feel bad about that. So they've got seats at the end, they've broken the aisles and they're putting seats in. And they put all the heavy products at the bottom so that they can be carried quite easily onto the bottom part of this trolley, which is kind of a shelf, which means that you're more independent. You don't have to ask for help, you can just do it yourself. And then the customer service. It's all about, it's not patronising, but it is exemplary customer service. And they've carried it through in their recruitment policies. They actually have a programme called Talent is Ageless, and they've gone from a workforce, an over 50s workforce of 7% in 1990 to 24% this year. So they're walking with their customers throughout. So I suppose, in summary, the kind of things I'd like you to take away is it's a huge market. It's a growing market, it's an affluent market, it's a really attractive market segment. And you're ahead of the game. Businesses have forgotten that older people are people first and foremost. They market to the older, they're not looking at the diversity within the segment, and they're not looking at those points of aspiring, inspiring, and motivating the consumers. And the success is meeting both sides of that coin. So if you walk in their shoes, it's good for you and it's good for them.